Little House on the Prairie remains one of television's most enduring depictions of frontier life, based loosely on the books by Laura Ingalls Wilder. The series followed the Ingalls family as they navigated hardship, community struggles, and personal growth in a rapidly changing world. While audiences often remember it for its warmth and moral lessons, the production itself carried a surprising number of behind-the-scenes quirks that rarely made it into public discussion. Beyond the carefully constructed storytelling, there were small inconsistencies, overlooked moments, and production choices that sometimes slipped past editing. What looks like a perfectly polished historical drama on screen actually came from a fast-moving television set filled with pressure, improvisation, and human error. Even the most dedicated fans occasionally discover details that feel like hidden bloopers, not because actors forgot lines, but because continuity, costumes, and real-world filming conditions created subtle imperfections. These overlooked elements give the series an additional layer of fascination for modern viewers, revisiting it frame by frame. Production realities and on-set conditions. Filming Little House on the Prairie was far from the idyllic countryside experience it portrayed. Much of the series was shot at Big Sky Ranch in California, where extreme heat often affected cast and crew. Actors wore heavy period costumes, long sleeves, boots, and multiple layers, which made summer filming especially difficult. There were days when temperatures climbed high enough that performers reportedly felt faint or had to pause production. These conditions naturally contributed to continuity challenges, such as makeup shifts, sweat visibility, or slight wardrobe inconsistencies between takes. In some cases, scenes that appear smooth on screen were stitched together from multiple attempts under changing lighting or weather conditions. This environment made small visual errors more likely to slip into the final cut. Rather than traditional bloopers, these were environmental artifacts of production. When viewers revisit episodes today, they sometimes interpret these small inconsistencies as hidden mistakes or unnoticed details, even though they were simply the result of demanding filming conditions. Cast relationships and family connections. One of the most interesting aspects of the series is how many cast members were connected beyond their on-screen roles. Several actors shared real-life family ties or long-term friendships that influenced their performances. The dynamic between cast members sometimes mirrored genuine relationships, especially among younger actors who grew up together during filming. In certain cases, siblings or adopted siblings appeared in different roles across the series, adding complexity to how viewers interpret their interactions. These off-screen connections occasionally create a layered viewing experience when revisiting episodes, as audiences recognize real emotional bonds beneath fictional storylines. Over time, however, some relationships between cast members became strained due to career changes, personal disagreements, or shifting life paths after the show ended. This contrast between on-screen harmony and off-screen complexity contributes to the enduring fascination with the series. It also explains why certain scenes feel unusually natural or emotionally charged, as real familiarity sometimes enhanced the performances without viewers realizing it at the time. Health, habits, and Hollywood realities. Behind the wholesome image of frontier life, the cast and crew lived within the realities of 1970s and 1980s Hollywood culture, which included widespread smoking and drinking habits. Many actors from that era openly worked in environments where tobacco use was common on set and during breaks. This influenced both production schedules and actor appearances, sometimes requiring adjustments in continuity or scene timing. Makeup and wardrobe teams had to adapt quickly to changing conditions, including smoke exposure, weather effects, and long filming days. While the show's characters were often portrayed with strong moral discipline, the real lives of actors reflected a more complicated reality. These contrasts occasionally show up subtly on screen, whether in facial expressions, pacing, or performance intensity. Modern audiences revisiting the series sometimes reinterpret these moments as hidden layers of authenticity or unintended realism. Rather than undermining the show, these factors highlight how television production in that era blended idealized storytelling with very human working environments behind the camera. On-screen storytelling versus real-life interpretation. The series often presented characters in morally clear roles, but behind the scenes, storytelling decisions were shaped by production needs, actor availability, and network expectations. Some character arcs evolved significantly from their original conception, leading to long-running storylines that sometimes diverged from the source material. This created moments where viewers notice inconsistencies or unexpected character shifts when watching episodes back to back. What might appear today as a, quote, continuity error was often the result of evolving scripts or rewritten storylines during production. In addition, the emotional tone of certain scenes was influenced by the real-life chemistry between actors, which sometimes strengthened or altered the intended narrative direction. These subtle differences contribute to the feeling that certain episodes contain hidden layers or overlooked details. Rather than true bloopers, they reflect the fluid nature of long-running television production, where storytelling adapts constantly to behind-the-scenes realities while still maintaining the illusion of a consistent historical world. Challenges of long-running television production, producing a series that ran for nearly a decade, meant constant adaptation. Sets had to be maintained, redesigned, or rebuilt as stories progressed, and actors often aged significantly over the course of filming. This created unavoidable continuity challenges, especially in a show depicting a relatively fixed historical period. Wardrobe adjustments, prop reuse, and set modifications were common, and sometimes these changes became visible in subtle ways on screen. Episodes filmed months or even years apart could contain small visual differences that attentive viewers later interpret as hidden inconsistencies. Additionally, the production team often worked under tight deadlines, leaving limited time for reshoots or detailed corrections. This contributed to minor imperfections slipping into final edits. However, these elements also add to the charm of the series, reflecting the reality of long-term storytelling in television. Instead of diminishing the show, they highlight the scale and ambition of maintaining a continuous narrative across hundreds of episodes. Behind the camera leadership and creative control. A significant factor in the show's production was the strong creative influence of its lead director and producer, who also played a central on-screen role. This dual responsibility meant decisions were often made quickly and pragmatically, balancing storytelling with production efficiency. Scripts were sometimes adapted from earlier works or adjusted to fit filming constraints, which allowed for faster production but occasionally introduced narrative similarities across episodes. Cast members frequently described a fast-paced environment where improvisation and trust played key roles. Because of this, certain scenes may contain unplanned gestures, timing differences, or visual overlaps that viewers now interpret as hidden details or bloopers. The leadership style on set encouraged flexibility, which helped the show maintain its long run but also meant less time for meticulous scene polishing. In hindsight, these production choices contribute to the series' unique texture, where polished storytelling coexists with small, human imperfections embedded in the final footage. Iconic episodes and viewer misinterpretations. Some of the most memorable episodes in the series are also those most frequently rewatched, analyzed, and dissected by fans. Emotional scenes, dramatic confrontations, or character turning points often contain subtle continuity shifts that go unnoticed during a first viewing. However, when slowed down or studied closely, these moments can appear unusual or inconsistent. This has led to modern interpretations of, quote, hidden bloopers that were never intended as mistakes but instead reflect the complexity of filming emotionally intense scenes under time constraints. Actors often performed multiple takes under different emotional conditions, and editors later assembled the strongest performances into a cohesive narrative. As a result, slight variations in lighting, positioning, or expression occasionally remain visible. These are not errors in storytelling but rather artifacts of performance-based editing. Over time, fans have come to appreciate these moments as part of the show's authenticity, adding depth rather than detracting from its emotional impact. Evolution of cast careers and post-show life. After the series concluded, many cast members moved on to diverse careers, while others stepped away from acting entirely. Some remained active in entertainment, taking on guest roles, directing, or participating in reunions and retrospectives. Others chose private lives outside the industry, reflecting the long-term impact of growing up or spending formative years on a successful television set. These post-show paths influence how audiences now revisit earlier episodes, often with a sense of nostalgia or curiosity about what came next for the actors. Knowing the real-life trajectories of the cast can change how viewers interpret certain performances, adding emotional weight to scenes that once seemed simple. In retrospect, the series becomes not only a fictional portrayal of pioneer life, but also a snapshot of a transitional period in television history. The blend of youthful actors, evolving careers, and shifting personal lives contributes to the enduring cultural footprint of the show. Modern rewatch culture and frame-by-frame analysis. In today's digital era, fans have the ability to pause, rewind, and examine television scenes in ways that were impossible during the show's original broadcast. This has led to a resurgence of interest in identifying hidden details, continuity quirks, and so-called bloopers. Many of these observations are less about mistakes and more about appreciating the craftsmanship and limitations of older television production. High-definition remasters and streaming platforms have made visual details more accessible, revealing textures and inconsistencies that were previously unnoticed. As a result, viewers often create discussions around hidden secrets in episodes, even when those details were simply part of normal production variability. This analytical viewing style has transformed how classic television is experienced, turning passive watching into active investigation. The show, once consumed weekly without pause, now becomes a puzzle to explore frame by frame, giving it renewed relevance for modern audiences. Revisiting the blooper myth and what viewers actually see. When people talk about a, quote, hidden blooper in Little House on the Prairie, it's often less about a true editing mistake and more about how modern viewers interpret older television production. What looks like a surprising error today was frequently just a normal part of filming in the 1970s and 1980s, when continuity tools were far less advanced than they are now. Scenes were shot on large outdoor sets, retakes were limited by weather, and editors worked with physical film rather than digital precision. Because of that, small variations in costume positioning, background extras, or lighting could remain in the final broadcast without anyone considering them serious mistakes. Over time, fans rewatching episodes in high definition have started spotting these minor inconsistencies and reframing them as, quote, hidden details or, quote, unnoticed bloopers. In reality, most of these moments reflect the natural limitations of production rather than intentional surprises. Still, this reinterpretation has become part of the show's modern viewing culture, giving audiences a new way to engage with a series that was originally designed for straightforward weekly viewing rather than deep frame-by-frame analysis. Lasting legacy of a carefully imperfect classic. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of Little House on the Prairie lies not in perfection, but in its humanity. The series captures emotional storytelling shaped by real people working under challenging conditions, where small imperfections naturally found their way into the final product. What some viewers label as bloopers or hidden mistakes can also be seen as traces of authenticity left behind by a busy, evolving production. These details remind audiences that television is not a static artifact but a living process shaped by countless decisions, constraints, and performances. The show's legacy continues because it balances heartfelt storytelling with the visible marks of its creation. Rather than diminishing its impact, these imperfections enhance its realism and charm. Decades later, audiences still return to it not just for nostalgia, but to rediscover those subtle layers that make the world of Walnut Grove feel unexpectedly alive, human, and timeless.